Good morning and good evening. I'm Wolf Spider and holy the Booster Course Pass has finally dropped! Complain all you want on how the style looks like Mario Kart Tour, but boy am I glad to finally be playing these tracks. The first thing I noticed about these tracks was the soundtrack. Live music is back. Now, I don't mind Tour's arrangement of Sky Garden's soundtrack. I think it's a neat mix between the DS and the GBA iterations. But man, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did it better. And the bassline in Ninja Hideaway, ooh, if only I could shred like that. My biggest fear with this DLC was that they would just use the Mario Kart Tour versions of these songs or even previous iterations of them. But every song used in the DLC so far is the opposite. They went all out with the music, as they should. It makes the tracks that much better. Also, you can really notice the details of the textures once you actually play this for yourself rather than look at trailer footage. Nintendo did a great job on this DLC. But now I'd like to go track by track giving my review of the first wave, starting with the Golden Dash Cup. Paris Promenade. I love the aesthetic of this track, and despite how it looks a little like Tour, I'm able to notice a lot of smaller details that make it stand out from its mobile counterparts, such as an added detail in the brick road. The glider ramps look like every other glider ramp in Mario Kart 8, and overall, it just looks better than it does in Tour. I really did believe that Mario Kart Tour tracks had potential that I wish could be utilized outside of the mobile game, and I stand by what I said. Nintendo could have easily made this track a typical 3-lapper with one set pathway and maybe a fork in the road once, but they did something different. They set you on a different path for the third and final lap going backwards on the track like some of the routes on Tour, and I love that they did that. It makes Paris Promenade stand out from the other tracks at Return. It's also cool to hear the new arrangement of the music for Mario Kart 8. I figured they'd just do rearrangements of the non-Tour tracks, but they improved on Tour soundtracks as well. 3DS Toad Circuit is alright. This is surprisingly the only track I was a little let down by while playing it. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you, Shroom Ridge. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still fun to play on even though it's kinda simple. Even back when the 3DS defined my middle school years, Toad Circuit was not a top pick of mine. It's definitely an intro track for the game and it served its purpose. I really don't think we needed another basic circuit track in 8 Deluxe. And for some reason, I don't like the color of the grass on this stage. I honestly prefer the shade of green they used for Tour. Heck, even the shade on the 3DS was better. I also think Tour had the best shade for the sand as well between the three versions. It's also a little odd that Nintendo didn't add the sand textures they used for Dry Desert and other stages in the base game. But what do I like about the track? Well, I do like that the speed boost and glider ramp look like how they do in the rest of Mario Kart 8, but that's something that appears in all these stages pretty much, so I don't think I need to talk about that again. The road texture is also detailed and I like it. I also think Nintendo finally nailed the Toad balloon, as it looked too shiny in Mario Kart 7 and it just looked like a giant toad in Tour. Now, it looks like a balloon, and I think the lighting in this version is better than in the 3DS. Personally, I think the best part of this track is the rearrangement of the soundtracks. It sounds really good. N64 Choco Mountain in 8 Deluxe is fantastic. This has some of the best textures of the Booster Course Pass so far. The chocolate rocks look like chocolate or rocks, but I think that's up to the racer to decide. The sides of the mountain are supposed to resemble the layers of a chocolate cake, which I actually didn't realize until playing it in 8 Deluxe, and the new arrangement of the music is fantastic. The style of this track also fits very well in Mario Kart 8 in my opinion. I think this remaster is also unique because like previous iterations, the sky is gray and it's cloudy, and we don't have a lot of that in 8 Deluxe as is. This track is also just a fun one to play on, so I think Nintendo did a great job at remastering Choco Mountain. I'll be honest, Wii Coconut Mall was the only one I was expecting to be disappointed by. The Mii's are completely absent, the cars near the finish are static, there's arrows on the escalators. I want to fend for myself, damn it! But honestly, I think it's improved since we saw the trailer for the Booster Course Pass. The colors are more vibrant and saturated than we initially saw, and at its core, when playing this track, it still feels like Coconut Mall to me. There's still all the fountains, the layout is no different from previous iterations, we still have all the shortcuts, the Wii banners are still there, but there's also an attention to detail with adding in all the Piantas in the Mario Kart TV vans and pit crew trucks. And for some reason, I really like the new food area right before you exit the mall. It just looks neat. Overall, I think N64 Choco Mountain and Paris Promenade are the hard hitters of this cup, with a great addition in Coconut Mall. And then there's a weak spot with Toad Circuit. But there's still another cup that was part of this first wave. Just like the Golden Dash Cup, Lucky Cat Cup starts off with a city track from Mario Kart Tour. In this case, it's Tokyo Blur. I like the vibrant colors of this track. I also like the extra details and the textures that Nintendo added like with the other tracks. The thwomps look like they do in other tracks of this game, and the different paths you take each lap is pretty neat. Once again, Nintendo utilized the potential in the mobile tracks for this DLC, showing a lot of creativity in the mobile ports rather than doing the typical 3 laps around the same path. My only issue with this track is that it's a little short compared to the other tracks in the first wave. Personally, I think Paris Promenade is the stronger of the city tracks in the first wave, but Tokyo Blur is still a fun track in 8 Deluxe. DS Shroom Ridge has proven itself as a worthy Mario Kart track in my book. The color of the grass on this track is kinda how I hoped the grass would look on 3DS Toad Circuit to start, but I have fun racing on Shroom Ridge. I never thought I'd say that in my life. I love how all the vehicles in this track are the ones you see in other city tracks in the game as well, and the advertisements for the other areas in the game are also a nice touch. The music is so much better now. I get that the DS had a lot of compression and thus made the music not sound as great, but even with said compression, I've always thought Shroom Ridge's synth had too much whine to it, which is fixed by simply playing the synths part on electric guitar instead. When I thought about how a Mario Kart for Wii U would look like before they announced Mario Kart 8, this remaster of Shroom Ridge is kinda how I expected it to look, to be honest. GBA Sky Garden is back, and it's probably my favorite iteration of it so far. The new arrangement of the Sky Garden theme is fantastic and fits the track very well. The brick textures are well detailed and different from Tour's iteration of Sky Garden. The plants on this track have textures that make them look more like plants, and honestly, the leaves and vines look better than the palm tree leaves on Coconut Mall. They don't look like plastic, and the cloud textures are quite literally rolling over themselves, which I think is a great added detail. This track is definitely up there in terms of the tracks from the Booster Course Pass so far. Ninja Hideaway is the track most like Mario Kart 8 to me out of all the Booster Course tracks so far. The attention to detail on this track is wild compared to some of the other tracks we've gotten this wave. I also like how they differentiated this track from the other tour tracks by having every possible path open at once. While I do like how the other tracks have forced variation, making each lap interesting, I also like the choose your own adventure type layout that Ninja Hideaway has. I also find it funny how this track has a lot of Wario incorporated throughout, despite not being named after Wario. It's neat. And the music to this track is fantastic. It suits the vibe well, but the front-running drums definitely add to the piece. This and Shroom Ridge are probably the strongest tracks in this cup, with great additions with Sky Garden and Tokyo Blur. Overall, I think Lucky Cat Cup is a stronger cup than Golden Dash Cup, but they both contain fun and great tracks. The big thing I notice with these tracks is, yes, the style is different from the base 8 Deluxe tracks, with some tracks even being different styles compared to each other. The big worry I think people had was that these tracks would feel like playing Mario Kart Tour on a Switch, and having dipped my toes in Tour and played 8 extensively, I don't think it feels like that at all. These tracks not only feel like you're playing Mario Kart 8, but also that you're traveling through the eras of Mario Kart. Previous Mario Kart games, when bringing back retro tracks, have either done it in a way that looks like they are simply ported over, or gone all the way out with remastering the courses, such as in Mario Kart 8. The Booster Course Pass so far has remastered the tracks with differing styles, showing the different eras of Mario Kart in a new way. So yes, they do feel a little different, but they don't feel jarring to me, and I'm personally okay with different as long as it's not jarring. Again, I play custom tracks on the Wii a lot, and the styles between those and the base game, heck, even between custom tracks and other tracks, vary a lot more than the Booster Course Pass tracks do versus its base game. At this point, I'm just really looking forward to what Nintendo's going to do with the rest of this DLC. But good luck hearing anything about Wave 2 before June.